Last week, we had a top 5 that kicked off the Halloween theme with weird and interesting facts. If you want the full discussion, it'll be available within the link in the description below. Anyway, enjoy the video.
Now, our top 5 is weird and interesting facts. We didn't put any qualifications. We tried to make it just what our own thoughts were on weird and interesting facts. So there isn't a specific criteria. You're not going to see a specific subject being talked about. So you ready, Ranger Swamp?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to start off. My first one is going to be Frankenstein, or rather Mary Shelley, the English novelist who wrote Frankenstein. The reason I put her up here is first, I think growing up myself, again, I'm much older than you, Ranger Swamp. I think I beat you by at least 25 years. Yeah, older than you by 25 years. This was an iconic, I think that's Boris Karloff, if I'm not mistaken. He's the actor who played Frankenstein in the movies. And this is the Frankenstein I know. But I want to talk about the author, Mary Shelley. First of all, did you know she wrote this when she was a teenager?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I think she was 19 years old. It's called, the novel was called Frankenstein, or Modern Day Prometheus. Prometheus is in the Greek mythology. Apparently, he gave fire to man. He helped men out, and then he got punished by Zeus for doing that. So Prometheus is obviously, I believe, referring to the scientist named Frankenstein. We all know that Frankenstein that we're seeing, or we would refer to as Frankenstein, that's actually Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein refers to the scientist, not the actual monster, although when we talk about Frankenstein, we all think of the monster himself. So I just want to shout out to her. I just thought it was interesting that she was so young. I also learned, doing a little research on her, that she had 4 children, 3 of whom passed away very young, and only 1 lived to be an adult. And then another bullshit that I learned is that they're trying to give credit to her husband. A lot of people believe that her husband wrote the book and not her. And I'm like, well, why would you think that? Why do you think that anyone would give a woman credit unless she actually wrote the book, especially back in the day? So fuck those people who are thinking that, and that there's even a controversy. And I just think she's remarkable. That's why she's on there. I think Frankenstein is one of the most interesting characters, brought back to life from the dead. Wonderful, iconic creations, and that's why I put her on there, and her creation on there. So that's my honorable mention.
All right. Did you know that you can't lick your elbow?
Yes, I did know that. And did you know that when you tell someone they can't lick their elbow, that's like more than half of them try to lick their elbow?
I actually just did.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Nice. What's your honorable mention, Ranger Swamp?
Alright, so my honorable mention is going to be mirrors.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Alright, and this honorable mention, it was just something I thought of. In all honesty, it wasn't like anything like super like factual, but you know what I realized about mirrors? Do you know that no matter what, you will never know if your mirror reflection is staring back at you? If you look away?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you know,
this is more of like a superstition. Like, it's not like super factual, but when you think about it, in the unlikely event that your reflection is not really your reflection, but something staring back at you,
yeah,
you will never know, because no matter what, when you look back, it looks right back at you.
We on to our number 5s?
Yes.
Okay. Number 5 for me is a dinosaur, and this is something Bellatrix will like, is a dinosaur called Jacorix Hogwartsia. It is called Dracorix hogwartsia. It was discovered in 2004. I think it was named in 2006. Just like it sounds, it means the Dragon King of Hogwarts. That's what it means. And it was named specifically for the Hogwarts, and I think for the Norwegian. Was it the Norwegian Ridgeback? Bellatrix?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a dangerous one.
Yeah. He was because it was a mother. She was a dangerous one. So I started looking at weird fucking names for dinosaurs, right? I thought that was interesting. I thought that there was an actual dinosaur, and it's been around for basically 15 years, and I didn't know that until recently. But there's a dinosaur called Bambi Raptor. That's a weird fucking name, right?
Yeah, what the heck?
And then there was one called... Shit, I lost it. But anyways, dinosaurs with weird fucking names, and some of these scientists are out of line. But my interesting weird fact is that there's a dinosaur named after Hogwarts, and it's a pretty cool looking dinosaur that is, despite how ferocious it looks, is an herbivore, by the way.
Alright, so for my number 5, I chose eye rubbing.
Yes.
So here's the thing: everyone has rubbed their eyes once in their life. I think everyone here, and yeah, it's gonna, if you do it too much, it makes your eyes blurry, and it can even affect your vision. But did you know that you could actually just become blind from rubbing your eyes too much?
No, was that true?
Yeah, you could damage your eyes to the point where they won't work as properly as before, and it can even lead to blindness if continued. That is part where if you excessively rub your eyes, you can rub them to the point of just blindness, where it just you damage your irises to a point where it just no longer.
The fuck are they rubbing it with? Fucking sandpaper? How, is it like how often?
I don't know how often you would have to I would assume you have to be very aggressive too. It's just. Yeah. But yeah, fucking
Lady Jinx is going off right now. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was just one.
Okay, so how many cases has been noted that this has happened to?
I
guess is my question.
Actually, I don't know.
Okay. All right. So, but it has happened. You know that. Where did you read this, Ranger Swamp? Because I'm starting to think that if the mirror rubbed our eyes, we go blind. So, what? Is this an actual fact that you found?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. I actually like it. That is fucking freaky as fuck.
Cause I knew rubbing your eyes will, obviously damage them if you do it to an extent, but I did not know if you could go to the extent of blinding yourself. Also, Lady Jinx said, did you know that baby hippos use crocodiles as chew toys just because they can?
No, I didn't know that. I saw a baby. Wait, what kind of the baby crocs? Right, not the full grown crocs. I saw a full grown croc fuck up a baby hippo. I mean, it went at that little motherfucker, chewed him up. Even after the mom tried to save it, it's like no, croc got to it. So I'm assuming it's a baby croc, right, Lady Jinx? The crocs are just chill there.
Oh,
okay, but they don't die then. Do they die, Lady Jinx? Oh, okay. I did not know that. Okay, that's interesting to know. All right, that was a good one. I like that one. All right, on to number 4. You ready, Ranger Swamp?
Yeah.
Probably, they are probably super annoyed. Ketchup. Ranger Swamp. I do love ketchup. It is one of my favorite condiments. Probably my favorite condiment because I use that more often. But I do love me some chili. I don't like salsa too much. I guess I like salsa. Anyways, that's not the point. The point is the facts. Did you know that when ketchup was first around, it was used as medicine?
What?
blow your fucking mind away, didn't I? I'm fucking blowing your mind away. You guys can't even deal with this fact. It was used, by the way, to cure ailments like diarrhea, indigestion, and jaundice. And then it was proposed by Dr. John Cook Bennett. He even created tomato pills, right?
Oh.
So ketchup was initially used as medicine. So I thought to myself, well, what the fuck about mustard? And apparently, when that was originally created, and it was created a long time ago, back in the Egyptian days, that too was used as a medicine. And there's even some benefits to use mustard. I am diabetic, so mustard, when it comes to mustard, that's actually, there's some indication that mustard can help lower your blood sugar levels. So mustard, as opposed to ketchup that we have nowadays, it's probably full of all this fucking sugar. Mustard, which was also originally used in medicine, can also be used for medicinal reasons as well. Even nowadays, I guess it was used common cold, painful joints. That's black mustard oil, but we're just talking about regular mustard. But it is a diuretic. Mustard is. So I fucked with mustard, although I like ketchup more. But anyways, I just thought it was interesting that ketchup was originally used. So maybe we'll have the deworming that's being used now as medicine. Maybe that'll be used as a condiment in the future. We have to wait and see, I guess.
It's impossible to hum while you squeeze your nostrils closed. Alright, so for my next fact, it has to deal with people sleeping. And this one is...
Yeah.
Did you know, if I remember this correctly, that an average person, when they sleep, swallows 4 spiders a year?
I believe that.
Now, here's what makes this fact a little weird. Why do we know this? Like, I'm just curious, did someone take time over a year to research this?
Yeah.
Like,
were they like... Go ahead.
Like, did they have someone in a room where they just watching them sleep for a year just to see how many spiders are going to their mouth?
Well, they would have to watch multiple people, right, for them to get the average. Like, oh my God, George, 18 spiders this year. But Lucy over there, not a fucking one. Lucy probably stinks or has vinegar in her blood, something that the spiders are avoiding. But George, he is a spider-swallowing motherfucker. He is swallowing so many spiders. But that dude in the middle, he swallowed at least 4. He's hitting the average, so he's doing a good job. But that fucking Lucy is an asshole.
Did you know that you can start a fire when you microwave a grape?
Okay, was this from experience, or are you fucking researching this on the internet? Because I know you don't know how to cook, so...
I did not know that.
If you want to talk shit, you can come right next to this mic so Ranger Swamp can hear you instead of the mumbling in the background. Or text in this chat. Is that a real true fact? Who the fuck is microwaving grapes? Who started that trend? Honey, these grapes are cold. Heat them up. All right, my number 3 is the immortal jellyfish. And you may say, immortal? What's this then? Did you know that there is a jellyfish out there, Ranger Swamp? It is actually immortal. It is called the Turritopsis dorni. Apparently, this jellyfish, which is apparently as big as your finger, right? When it becomes an adult, if it's ever super hungry or if it's ever super injured, it can reimagine itself into its cells, into a polyp, and re-age itself to be young again.
What?
So essentially, this jellyfish will not die unless it's killed. You know, obviously, if we eat it or something else eats it or it doesn't do it in time, but essentially, these particular jellyfish can live forever because, and that's why I put the life cycle there. it can recreate itself into, I don't know, a group of cells, and then be reborn, live its life, and then redo it again, just over and over and over, and it can live forever. So I thought that was really interesting. I like that a lot. So I just threw that out there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lady Jinx adds, did you know that dogs' noses are so powerful they can sniff out specific drugs, along with cancer, and even detect gluten?
Yeah, isn't the dog smell? Because I researched that too. Isn't it like 100,000 times more powerful? Isn't it along those lines? And the bloodhound, I think, is the most powerful of all those dogs. But yeah, it can sniff cancer. It can also, well, animals themselves can like detect emotions, and that's why when you have someone who does have an animal, that emotional support animal, it really is important that they keep those around, because but yeah, dogs are brilliant. How much more powerful? Like, I think it's like, I want to say 100. I thought I read 100,000 times more powerful than human smell, but I may be overestimating that. 1,000 times?
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm definitely over. I must have read the wrong, or thinking about the wrong one. Yeah, very powerful. And Bloodhound is the best, I'm assuming. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's a good fact. I like that one a lot.
Huh.
All right.
It's crazy.
What you got, Ranger Swamp?
All right. My number 3 fact is, did you know that when you wake up with your heart racing all of a sudden, like you ever had those times that you suddenly wake up, it's like you're in a state of panic in a sense?
Yeah.
It's because, the reason for that is because this is actually kind of terrifying. Your heart rate went so low, your body thought you were dying, and so it jolted up your heart rate just to make sure you're still alive.
Wait, what the fuck happened to me?
So basically, when you're sleeping and you go to such a deep sleep, your heart rate slows down to the point where your own brain and body thinks you're about to die. So it quickly starts increasing your heart rate just to make sure you're still alive.
Really?
So someone else had another theory where it's like, oh, like you in another timeline died, but the real scientific theory, the real scientific fact, I mean, not theory, is it's because your body basically panic. Like your brain starts panicking, like, wait, why is the heart slowing down?
Yeah. Rangers, what if that motherfucker that was trying to get you in the mirror died? Right? Wouldn't that make you feel better?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? What if the motherfucker in the mirror came out the mirror because you weren't looking at it? Fucking mirror people, man. No, that's a good fact. I didn't know that. But the body does respond in weird ways, right?
Yeah.
And you know why? Go ahead.
And that's why I think part of it also has to do with if you die in a dream, that's why you wake up quickly, because because whenever you're in a dream, at that time, most likely you're experiencing what's happening as if it were real. So that's why when some people, when they die in a dream, they wake up quickly, because it's like in that moment, their brain thought it was real.
My number 2 has to do with Miss Hedy Lamarr. For those of you that are very young, like you, Ranger Swamp, or even Bellatrix, but she probably remembers, because she's probably watched Samson and Delilah, an old movie. She played Delilah. Very, 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 very beautiful woman. She was in other movies, but the one that I remember her most is her playing Delilah. I absolutely despised her as Delilah, because Delilah tricked Samson, cut his fucking hair, fucked him up. But here's the interesting fact about Miss Hedy Lamarr. She is Austrian. She was born in Austria to Jewish parents, but I guess she became an American. Anyways, she invented during World War II. She invented a receiver and the hold on. I gotta refresh myself. During World War II, with submarines, torpedoes, there was concerns that the enemy can stop or delay or stop the attack, if you will, of those missiles or the torpedoes, basically, right?
Uh-huh.
And one of the thoughts with her and her friend that she worked with, George Antile, was to create a device that allowed frequency hopping. So the sender and the receiver, between communications, would jump frequencies, and they would do it together. That would prevent any jamming of the signals, right? And she created this with the other inventor, her friend George Anthil, Anthil, and the U.S. Army said, no, this is too bulky. But obviously, with everything, because the first computer was probably a whole floor of a building. But it didn't do more than what it couldn't even do as much as it can nowadays. But because of miniaturization of technology, they started finally using it. But they used it after the fact that the patent ran out. So she got fucked over in her estate, not she, but she did, because I think she passed away in 2000. But this technology is now used in Bluetooth devices, is used in Wi-Fi, but she didn't get paid for it because her patent ran out. And I just wanted to give her and her friend George, Mr. George, credit. But I just thought it was interesting that someone who was a talented actress was also a genius inventor who invented something that we now enjoy through our Bluetooth devices, through our Wi-Fi. What's your number 2, Ranger Swamp?
My number 2 has to deal with the guillotine.
Mm-hmm.
And while we know the guillotine is a very, really terrifying device because, it's to decapitate people.
Yeah.
Did you know that the guillotine was actually made to be more humane? A method to execute people quickly that wouldn't cause suffering? Yeah. But the exact opposite was true. The people believed that the guillotine would kill them immediately and that there would be no suffering. But in reality, the decapitated head was still alive for minutes after being separated from the body.
Are you sure minutes?
I believe it's minutes, yes.
Oh, okay. My understanding was that the decapitated head stayed alive for 20 seconds. But you're saying that it's minutes, because minutes is a long time to live without blood flowing into your brain and shit.
And honestly, I think it honestly depends on the circumstances, because I think the longest a head could go would be 5 minutes before finally dying. After some time, there will be permanent brain damage and loss of many functions, but after 5 minutes, it will be officially completely dead.
Oh, that's fucked up. Well, maybe I'm thinking 20 seconds you'll be conscious.
Maybe I think...
Oh, God, do you think how fucked up your head's rolling around and shit? People kicking it for 20 seconds. You're like, but I'm still alive. And you're like, no, I'm not. This did not make it in the... Oh, my God. That would be super fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't realize that. Did you know that there was a chicken with no head that lived for like 15 years?
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta look it up. I like saying the word guillotine.
Guillotine.
Guillotine. How do you want to die? The guillotine. Because the electric chair, that's so... Ugh. But I would really rather die by the guillotine than the electric chair.
Yeah.
I would say, look, this is what I would do, right? Because we've been watching Squid Games, right? I would say, look, if you got to use the guillotine, chop up my fucking head, but stab me in the fucking brain afterwards, just like a zombie. Just think I'm a zombie, I'm gonna come back and shit. Number 1, Ranger Swamp, is the story of the jack-o'-lantern, how the jack-o'-lantern came to be. It all has to do with the Irish folklore regarding Stingy Jack. Now, Stingy Jack was at a bar with the devil. How they both got there at the same time, I don't know. How they knew each other, I don't know. Maybe they met on a dating website. I don't know. Anyways, Stingy Jack gets into conversation with the devil, says, hey, turn yourself into a coin, pay for our fucking drinks, but we get free drinks because you can turn yourself back. And Viola, free drinks, pay the bartender. We don't get kicked out for stealing. So, Stingy Jack, devil does as he says. Stingy Jack grabs the devil coin, puts it in his pocket, but right next to his pocket is a silver cross. Devil can't get out. Ah, fuck, help. I can't get out. I can't get out. Let me out. Well, I'll let you out, says Stingy Jack. I'll let you out, sure. But can't fuck with me for a year. Don't mess with me for a year. Right?
Right.
Devil agrees. Stingy Jack lets him out. Boom. They go their separate ways. Year later, 2 years later, I don't know the actual timeline. I wasn't there. Stingy Jack, the devil are back together again. Only this time, Stingy Jack says, hey, devil, you see that tree over there? I'm hungry. Let's go. Can you get that fruit for me? I don't know the details. All I know is that Jack tricked the devil to go get the fruit up the tree. And then Stingy Jack quickly carves in a cross on the tree itself, and the devil can't get down. So Stingy Jack says, okay, I'll let you free. I'll remove that cross if you don't take my soul for 10 years. So obviously, because the devil didn't want to stay, because the devil doesn't want to stay stuck in that fucking tree. Says, okay, I won't fuck with you for 10 years. Immediately after this happens, Stingy Jack passes away. He goes to heaven. God says, fuck you. I don't want to mess with a character like you. You making deals with the devil and shit. You're not going to heaven. No, fuck that. And Stingy Jack goes, well, fuck, I don't have a place to stay. I'm cold and shit. My soul is cold. Goes back to the devil. Hey, bud, I'm dead. The devil says, well, no, you're not. Because we had an agreement, you dumbass. I'm not going to take your soul, but here's a burning coal for you so you can walk the rest of your lonely nights, not in hell, because I'm not taking your soul. And so that's the story of Stingy Jack. He then puts his burning coal into a turnip, carves it out, and that is how jack-o'-lanterns were created.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Good story. I like that story. So if I mess it up and you guys have a better story, but I did go to historical websites to do that. So I think it's fairly accurate, and I sort of added extra because I wanted to make the story interesting. What's your number one, Ranger Swamp?
My number one pick has to deal with brain aneurysms.
Oh my god.
And I'm glad this image of Archer is right here because this is the first thing I thought of when I thought of it.
Yeah.
And that's because, did you know that at any point in your life, anytime, anywhere, and like just doesn't matter how old you are, where you are, you could just get a brain aneurysm and potentially die.
Yeah.
You could be the healthiest person alive and you could still get and that it can still happen. It can happen at any time.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, that's why Archer's so scared of it.
Exactly. Like, it just, like, that's kind of scary. Like, you could get a brain aneurysm at any moment.
Yeah. No, I agree. But see, again, I agree with Archer more in fuck crocodiles and fuck alligators. I actually, like, when Archer, because if you haven't watched Archer, by the way, you need to watch Archer. That is one of the best shows. The last 2 seasons and the first 6 seasons, excellent.
That is going to be a wrap on this top 5. If you had a weird or interesting fact you wanted to share, go ahead and comment below. And of course, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, I will see you all next time.